I think something I'm really curious about, given you guys are both working on software that connects everything together and makes sense of all the data, as well as hardware, how much of that data is influencing the direction of hardware versus software?
It's a great question. Let me tell you first sort of like how we think about that data and where the value resides is it may sound like, oh my God, they have all this data, but that is one of the pillars for us that we define as an important value for the business, which is the data will always be utilized to bring value to the person who owns that data, which is the end user. We don't have a business model that monetizes with third parties with that data. We don't need it, right? And so it's not
Thank
something
you
that
for
we
that.
will ever pursue. And it's very important, right? Because maybe you want to build a business that way, and that's totally fine. But the transparency and being able to articulate, like, this is where we make our revenue, but this is not where we're looking to make our revenue, is really important. And so that data, as it grows, that pool of data, the value of it growing goes back to each user because the more we understand sleep across more people, the better and more refined the algorithms get to understand you at an individual level. So there's power in that. And that goes back to each individual user. And I'm sure anyone who has slept on our products since 2016 when we shipped our first product could tell the difference of how much better the product has gotten, how much smarter. We're about to release a bunch of other new insights that come from correlation of a lot of data points, right? So the
Mhm.
smartness is we're only able to build it because we have more people sleeping on these products.
Sure.
And so that's where the value comes in. And how we use it to build new products, we actually rely much more to build new products on more traditional product marketing research
Sure.
with our user base. Because the reality is that you can infer so many things out of data, but you don't really know until you talk to people.
Mhm.
So I've spent a lot of time over the years conducting surveys and focus groups. We actually run a group, a small group of a selected set of our users that have opted in to be part of this sort of beta, and they get access to early products, and they answer tons of different research for products, and they put in product requests. But even publicly on Twitter, people post to request for features all the time. There was, I think, another one this morning asking for a different mode for when they're managing multiple pods. So it's very community driven. And then with the data, what we do look at is, are we helping people sleep better?
Hmm.
Because we can ask you qualitatively how you feel. Is the pod helping you sleep better? But the ability to look at those trends and say, we're actually helping people get a higher HRV or reduce their heart rate at rest, right? All indicators of better recovery. That is the validation part. And
Sure.
that's where the data becomes really valuable to make sure we're delivering on that promise.